black humor, ultra-violence, explicit scenes, and superheroes that cause nothing but disgust. All this is about The Boys. This famous series turns our picture of superheroes upside down and ridicules genre cliches from the opening credits and costumes up to the origin of the characters and shooting style in every possible way. But behind the jokes, that tempting fate, and a bloody mess, there's also a huge number of important issues that absolutely every viewer cares about. This is the Himlad channel, and today we are figuring out why The Boys can be considered one of the best TV series of our time. No, for real. And before that, we suggest you click on the subscription button and the bell. Because of this channel, you will get a summary of the most interesting information about your favorite movies and TV series that you don't want to bother watching. Subscribe, and we start. That series was released at the very right time. Judge for yourself. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has peaked in the crossover movie Avengers Endgame, and the CW series that we've all for sure have been watching have converged in their largest crossover in Crisis of Infinite Earths. And Warner Brothers was also making some movies. The genre has already managed to form a certain tradition, a set of plots, images, and techniques. And at some point, it became necessary to rethink and reform superheroics. And so, when many began to demand something new from the genre, they appeared.
Some golden cunt swoop out the sky, save the day, so you don't gotta do it yourself. But if you knew half the shit they get up to, fucking diabolical.
The Boys is an adaptation of the comic book of the same name by Garth Ennis. Yes, that's how you pronounce his name, don't look it up. And Derek Robertson. It describes a world where there is a powerful corporation, Vought, which owns superheroes and wants control over almost the whole world. The superheroes are not noble saviors, but superstars corrupted by impunity, who are no longer interested in fighting crime, but going to the evening show, filming, and ratings. The tone of The Boys is radically different from the usual superhero canons. There is no colorful Marvel studio attraction that offers to escape from reality, or the dark pretentiousness of the DC films. In the first season, the creators generally mixed black humor with explicit scenes of violence and sex, thus making it better than Marvel. They filled the narrative with almost Shakespearean collisions. If studio blockbusters often tell about the origin and formation of superheroes, then the showrunner of the project, Eric Kripke, finds his characters in moments of deep crisis. The superheroes in The Boys resemble rock stars. They drink and swear, lie and hypocrite. The members of the Seven, the local Justice League, can be compared to the pantheon of ancient Greek gods. Both are far from the ideals of virtue. Both are overwhelmed by simple human passions, and both do not care about ordinary people. Fundamentally,
look at you! You really dress the part.
It's your old uniform, but I'm saving it for the new one.
Hey, Starlight! Show us your tits!
at times, the parody of superheroics even turns into deconstruction. So much so, I forgot which part is reality and which is fiction. For example, in scenes where superheroes sitting at their pretentious negotiating table discuss not incidents in the world, but the filming of their adventures in which they themselves are going to act. At these moments, the irony over the genre reaches its maximum. By the way, don't forget to write in the comments which scenes of this video you like the most. We read everything and like the glazed up ones. The series has become a vivid challenge to all fans of the genre, Season 1 being hard to watch and Season 5 being hard to watch for different reasons. Superhumans are evil, corporations have won, and superheroes and supervillains are in fact the same people, and ordinary citizens mean nothing to them. The audience was delighted that The Boys offered a different approach to superheroes. But did they? Remember what the latest Marvel films talked about. Spider-Man, Far From Home, talked about the power of deception and the ease of influencing public consciousness. So they're basically the same thing. Captain Marvel was about immigration and how foreigners can easily replace us. But if the cinematic universe is criticized for the monotonous introduction of these topics, then The Boys are praised for the depth and that they do exactly the same things. They just presented them differently. For example, there is the main character of the series. Meet Huey Campbell. What makes him so interesting as a main character is that he's a beta male standing in a world of alphas, standing among men. The showrunners were brave enough to have him be a main character, but as the character went through development, he gained some toxic masculine traits such as confidence and self-respect. So they decided to rip his character development and then his character. The series reflects on how ordinary people suffer from superhero fights. This topic has already been raised in movie comics in the same Captain America Civil War, but never before the victim has become the main character of such stories. Huey's storyline is not only a story about growing up, but also a story of the kind of person who would watch the show, broke and buck broken.
This is a lot of money, Huey. We could really use it.
I can't... Dad, they killed her.
Be realistic.
Only at first glance, The Boys is just a humorous, bloody story that parodies the cliches of superhero cinema. Behind the outright mockery of the genre, important topics are hidden, so hidden in fact, the message eludes me to this day. Even when the camera focuses on how someone's head explodes, the series tries to give really important comments on the most acute problems of the modern world.
Finally, we are going to hold hearings on Vought and Compound B. Yes! Yes!
Hey, everyone.
The main bad guy of the series is not even some sadistic supervillain, but the Vought Corporation, which makes toys, movies, and TV shows and constantly monitors ratings. Vought is a vivid caricature of modern film studios. Eric Kripke shows how managers and producers work, exposes the process of creating superhero films, and demonstrates how the industry is connected with politics. Kripke shows that the danger lies not only in the fact that corporations begin to control virtually everything from alcoholic beverages to show business, but also in the fact that large capital joins with the army and becomes a dangerous military force. All this leads to a fairly obvious conclusion. The Boys is a series about a crisis of trust in media and corporations.
I am willing to give you a 3-year exclusive contract with full PR support, and I'm going to give you 9.5 points of the merchandising.
Superheroes, being the main product, the infernal creature of this system, do not really save anyone. If we see such episodes, then there are people with professional shooting equipment nearby. Basically, it's some kind of public nice story that can be shown on TV. That is the main claim, is that Vought is constructing a fake television reality that isn't relevant to the present. Pay attention to how the picture changes when we switch to recordings from TV cameras. Bright colors and a positive attitude appear, which are not present in the rest of the series. Even the costumes are starting to look more decent. This level of detail and pure genius has never been done until this show. Don't you have some kind of feeling of fake irregularity of these armors? Obviously, that's what it is meant to be. The worst sin of the Vought Corporation is that it tries to create the illusion of sincerity, and definitely not all the murders, rapes, and human experimentation that they hide. All the characters in front of the camera imitate real emotions, but when emotions really come out, the local Wonder Woman, on the contrary, shouts to get the cameras out. The cast does this revolutionary thing called acting, which I've never seen on any other TV show before, because nothing, even a little bit of the real thing, should be transmitted into traditional media. In addition, we are shown many other problems relevant to modern society. For example, the theme of sexual violence, which becomes the starting point for the evolution of several heroes is a reflection of the processes associated with the Me Too movement and not something that actually happens in the real world.
You know, if I ever really thought that you'd fallen for someone else, I don't think I could handle it.
Is that so?
You and me, we're different. Better.
The criticism of traditional masculinity, which is closely related to the evolution of superheroes, plays an important role in the series. The inconsistency of the conventional male image is interpreted by two figures. There are Homelander and Butcher. Even if the second one seems to be a defender of justice, his methods differ little from the villainous ones. The problem of sexual minorities in the context of the entertainment industry does not remain without attention. Kripke literally shows how large companies exploit the social agenda and make money on other people's problems. The Boys criticizes the hypocrisy of the big studios, and this is how they, for example, parody Marvel and DC's attempts to please a feminist audience. They do that by doing the exact same thing as Marvel introduces Maeve's gay love interest, Dina, whose only character trait is being gay. Her name's not even Dina. We know so little about her that I could say her name is anything and you could believe me. There's also the topic of drug addiction, the underside of the sports industry, where they have the brave message that drugs bad, and the crisis of the church, which is radicalized and becoming an individual brand, something we've never seen before. The same Starlight gets reprimanded from the authorities because of the critical, unpleasant questions that she asks on stage of a Christian event, and not because she beat the shit out of two rapists while being filmed.
What's immoral is the guy who shoved his dick in my face.
Shit.
No one has any answers on how to live properly. Nobody's perfect. Who here can really say we haven't done half the shit Homelander has done? There's the old biblical wisdom, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. And I will not explain how that relates to the video at all. The whole series shows us that TV stars with an ideal image whom you want to listen to and whom you want to look up to are actually scoundrels, and even some priests are among them. And even if they are not really scoundrels like Queen Maeve, then people are no less confused and doubtful. As you can see, the boys are not against the genre, but against the very structure of society. The society we live in right now. This show is more like a strict way of life to live by more than anything. Okay, we've talked about the bad guys, and who are the good guys then? Is there a weapon against bad television? Yes, there is. As soon as something in the series gets onto phone cameras, it immediately becomes a problem. This is the real thing, which is dangerous for the corporation. Even a superhero can be threatened with Twitter. But even here, it's not so simple, because with the help of social networks, you could also manipulate public opinion. In the second season, we are shown how you can just destroy a person's reputation in a few hours with the help of a couple memes.
You spent $273 million on that Saving America bullshit, and I am running circles around you with 5 guys on laptops churning out memes.
This once again shows why The Boys is an actual series in our time, because it tells us that Redditors are the actual weapons of mass destruction in our world. Because it also denies inexpressive television, as today's shift of content in Instagram stories and some kind of uncensored life do. The Boys actively use the aesthetics of modern corrupt media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook memes, broadcasts on social networks, television broadcasts, reports, even recordings made on the phone are full-fledged narrative tools that make The Boys closer to our reality in another way. Basically, you see the characters use phones and you think, wait, I also use phones. Maybe these guys aren't so different than you and I.
As if Homelander and Maeve are gonna eat MREs and piss in a ditch with the rest of the crew.
Yeah, hi, we're filming right now, excuse me.
Also, you might recognize Army Boy as hotel clerk number
Hello?
2 from The
Excuse-
Devil's
okay.
Breath, episode of Criminal Minds Beyond Borders.
Well, hello.
The color palette of the series consists of deliberately dimmed shades, which contrast with colorful Marvel films or the matte gloom of DC. The two main color schemes are blue-green and a yellowish blue, differentiating itself from most other movies whose color scheme is teal and saffron. Its forward thinking brilliantly had the show be lit with colors, while its contemporaries, like Better Call Saul, at the time were still figuring out how to use black and white shots. Such a dirty picture is a conscious move away from the superhero gloss, revolutionizing TV color palettes that no other show could dream to achieve. The viewer understands from the very first seconds that he finds himself in a gloomy and comfortless world. A handheld camera also brings viewers closer to the heroes. It creates the effect of presence in the scene and once again emphasizes the reduced realistic aesthetics of the show. The action of the boys is intentionally realistic, and big action scenes can be counted on the fingers. But those that are present are not striking in the extent, but shocking in their absurdity and ingenuity. In this series, heads just burst. The characters get a chase involving a whale, and Butcher uses a baby with superpowers as a weapon. There are also scenes using slow-mo. It's kind of a parody of Zack Snyder's favorite technique, and if it's parodying anything, I point and clap. In addition, composer Christopher Reynolds constantly makes fun of Hollywood soundtracks, exposing the superficial pomposity of musical images in blockbusters, thus making it better than all other shows. All these techniques are needed to more clearly show the reality in which the characters live. On the one hand, we see a vivid image of superheroes. On the other, there is a repulsive reality. This is most evident in the scenes with the shooting of a documentary film, when fiction and reality collide. In following frames, and even the aspect ratio changes. I didn't know you could do something as mind-blowing as that. Among all the important ideas raised in this series, perhaps the most valuable one is that the main characters can be ordinary people who just take matters in their own hands. They are not perfect, often make mistakes, and have a dark past. Like Starlight, the today's protagonist refuses the messianic task that he is assigned to. He wants to stay real and ordinary. Perhaps the most difficult thing in modern realities is to remain a human despite everything. But it would be wrong to say that The Boys completely cancels out the rest of superheroics. This series is a large part classic genre that is still developing and still has a huge number of fans around the world. Thanks for watching this video, and a small shout out to the About Movies channel. Their AI generated slot video was the inspiration for this one.